You can see the iPad, right? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Romney Smith at WTOC for the News Now, giving you updates on stories we're working on for you right now that you'll see a little later in the newscast on television. But we appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time just so we can catch you up on everything, both locally, regionally, and nationally. We're on various platforms. So thank you so much for joining us, especially hello and a good shout out to those of you on Facebook who are on there, like Bernice Harris, Tammy Galvin, and James Riles. Hello to you guys. Okay, so right now we're working on a lot of stories. The big one right now, the fire feed at the city of Savannah, has caught a lot of heat over recently, saying they're working on the budget so that people don't have to pay it. WT's Sean Evans is following that story right now for us. Here's a preview of his story.
Hey everyone, Sean Evans reporting here in Savannah. The story I'm working on for you today is a follow to yesterday's mid-year budget retreat with Savannah City Council. We know that they're looking to move forward without assessing the fire fee at all. That's up for an official vote, though, this Thursday. In the meantime, City Manager Rob Hernandez and staff are looking at ways to cut or reduce funding to make up the difference. One of the items that was kicked around yesterday was reducing additional funding to the Waters Avenue revitalization project. Waters Avenue right behind me. And ahead on WTOC, you'll hear from a business owner who has his shop along Waters Avenue who thinks that the city shouldn't be looking to cut funding to this particular project, that it's been in the works for long enough. All sentiments that we'll likely hear along the way as we get to that meeting on Thursday. And the city looks to make those cuts or reductions in funding elsewhere without moving forward with that fire fee. And we'll have that just ahead on WTOC for you.
Over in the Low Country, some drama is actually brewing over a development. WTOC's Amanda LeBreau has that story.
Hey guys, it's Amanda LeBreau out here in Beaufort County. City leaders here in the administration building want to make sure a development that's been in the works for almost a decade stays in the county. So here's a look at one of the renderings for the master plan. This is happening near Okatee Elementary School. Recently, the developers of this site and this one, they're right next door to each other. One's sort of next to Okatee Elementary, the other one's kind of behind it, went to a Hardeeville Planning Commission meeting and said that they would like to be annexed into the city instead of just being part of unincorporated Beaufort County. Well, the county doesn't want to see that happen, obviously, and says that it's not allowed to do that based on the agreements it already has, and it's taking some legal action to make sure that development gets to stay in the county. We'll have the details for you about what that development's supposed to look like and what the developers and the county are doing to make sure that they kind of come to some agreement on this.
All right, y'all know it's hot right now. Feels like triple digits, but if you remember, just a few short months ago, we had snow and it was really cold. Well, that weather affected the shrimping industry. WTOC's Jarvis Robinson working on the developments with that industry.
Hey there, digital friends, Jarvis Robertson here. So today I'm working on a story about a letter that Congressman Buddy Carter sent to the U.S. Department of Commerce. In this letter, he's asking that they declare a fishery disaster declaration for coastal Georgia. Now, a lot of you remember we had a very cold winter this year. As a result, the waters had to be shut down for boaters and shrimpers. So coming up on the news at 5 and 6, you're going to hear from Congressman Carter and also a fisherman who actually had to withgo shrimping. So be sure and tune in.
The Hampton man who hit 2 deputies last week now faces attempted murder charges. South Carolina authorities charged J. John Ruth with attempted murder, burglary, and larceny charges. SLED agents say Ruth hit one deputy who was in his stopped patrol car. He then went up the street, broke into a home, and stole a van. He's charged with hitting another deputy in his vehicle as well. 2 other Hampton County deputies got hurt in that chase as well. South Carolina Highway Patrol is investigating a deadly crash that happened this morning in Hampton County. It happened shortly before 6:30 near the intersection of Hopewell Road and Mail Carriage Road. Officials say it was a single vehicle crash and the driver was not wearing a seatbelt, and that person died at the scene. Right now we're working to learn what led to the crash and the victim's identity. Well, if you didn't know, you might have seen it on social media. Today is being called Juneteenth. It happens every year. The unofficial holiday celebrates when the very last slaves down in Texas were told that they were actually freed. This happened 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. Of course, life was still incredibly difficult for the newly freed slaves, but they had more of a fighting chance. Well, in South Carolina, there is actually a resolution for the city of Charleston to apologize for its role in slavery. The full resolution is still being finalized, but it's expected to commit the city to pursue initiatives that honor the contributions of enslaved people.
I think it's overdue that we denounce and apologize for slavery. And I don't think that people should take this as an individual apology. This is apology from a city that was the seat of the Confederacy.
We will let you know what they decide on that resolution. All right, I know it's hot outside. It's that time of year where you walk outside and just start sweating automatically. I'm right there with you. Well, if you're on Twitter, I urge you to follow our weather account at WTOC First Alert. This is the kind of forecast that almost makes you want to call in sick and go to the beach. Speaking of beaches, this is our beach forecast. Look at that, 87, 88, 89, up to the 90s for Fripp, Hunting, Hilton Head, Tybee, St. Simons, and Jekyll. Absolutely beautiful, and it's going to get even warmer later this week. If you're outside enjoying yourself, just don't forget to hydrate and use your sunscreen and be smart about it. If you start getting a little tired, feeling faint, go inside. Make sure you have something to eat. Drink plenty of water because it's easy to get dehydrated. And for those of you visiting Savannah and thinking, well, it's not Florida, how hot can they get? We can get very, very hot. So please take proactive measures to make sure you are protected against the sun and very well hydrated. And of course, enjoy yourself. All right, our next newscast will be at 4 p.m. Of course, we have the CBS affiliate in Savannah, Georgia. Until then, if you'd like to reach our stories to get updated, we're always online at WTOC.com and our social media platforms. See you later.